Can you guys hear me? I don't know if the sound's working all right, so if there's anyone out there, let me know if you can hear me. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I need to know from someone if you can hear me. I'm having sound issues. You can hear me? Yay! I've been having so much trouble connecting this week. I'm really slow at this, at the computer stuff, so I'm not gonna be able to chat much right now, but I wanted to get some updates out to you guys because I haven't been able to upload anything. Yay! Hi, Jamie. Hi, Cardinal. Aria. Hi, guys. Thanks for joining me. It's been crazy this weekend. I'm sure you guys all know. You've probably been feeling the crazy energies. Yay! All right. So I guess it was Friday it started. The energies have been really kind of crazy out there. There's a lot of aggression in the air. Let me know if you guys are feeling that too. Friday I tried to load my video off my iPad, which is the way I usually do it. There's a lot of anxiety coming up. I couldn't load my videos, so I tried on my other computer, and the sound's been giving me issues. Sometimes the sound will come on and sometimes it won't. So I never use this computer, so I figured I'd try live, and the sound's working, so I'm really excited. So I guess I'll give it a minute or two to see if there's anybody else coming on. I actually have done 3 reads since Friday, and I had a UFO sighting on Friday morning. Yeah, there's a lot of purges, weird purges coming up. I know my daughter, her ankles got really swollen for no reason, and then she got a sore throat for no reason. She got a bug bite on her stomach, all like within a few days. So there's a lot of crazy things coming up, and they're probably just all purges. So I guess it was the 15th, which is tax day, which is a crazy day for energy anyway. And the day on the 15th, that's, the energy of the shadow or the devil, and it added up to the Queen of Wands that day. Yay. Hi, Janie. I love Ocean City. Well, which Ocean City? This is New Jersey. Hi, Frats. So I love San Diego too. Yay. My brother just moved away from San Diego. He moved up to Washington State. But Ocean City, Maryland's great too. But I'm a New Jersey, Ocean City person. So was it the 15th? Oh, this was before I had my little UFO sighting. That was the morning of the 16th. And on the 15th, which I did the video for already, but I couldn't post it. Yeah, the Queen of Wands energy has been a little crazy. It's so weird because I'm going back to the 15th, which was the day of the Queen of Wands. It added up to the Queen of Wands, which is 24. And the read I have on the table now ends in the Queen of Wands. So the Queen of Wands definitely has something to do with this. All right, so on the 15th, which was tax day, it was the devil energy and the Queen of Wands. And that day that I posted, I was getting energy around Edgar Cayce. My book was out. I was being guided to open the page or open the book to a page. My my nephew's child was born that day on the 15th. And when I opened the book to a random page, it opened to page 142 to 143, and the chapter was 13, and it was called Room for Error. And it was about World War II in 1942. So here's the 42 coming up multiple times, which is the Two of Cups. When the tanks needed on the front lines failed because mice got into the tanks. So out of 104 tanks, only 20 of them ended up being operable. So mice had eaten away at the insulation covering the electrical system in the tanks. So of course, this is not an issue you'd foresee. And remember that nature always takes care of us, right? So if you're not supposed to do something, nature might block us from doing it, or it might help us along. You're feeling like Red Riding Hood? Oh, happy birthday, beauty. Did you have a good day that day? So from the page that I opened from this Edgar Cayce book, I'm glad you had a nice day, sweetie. I know you've had a lot of stuff going on. So what was coming up around the devil here was leverage. Leverage is the devil, taking on debt in order to make your money go further. So the energy around having faith instead was coming up there. So I don't want to get too much into those open pages because that energy passed already. But what I did get from the Edgar Cayce book was it's really hard to read. So just to get through 1 or 2 pages of that book, which is probably why I never ended up reading it straight through because it's very hard reading. So we don't need to struggle that much in learning things. We need to allow our own guidance system to guide us to what we need to know, which is what I do with my synchronicities. I get guided to go to certain pages or on a certain website, and I learn so much just from reading a few lines. So the word metaphor came up. And for you guys, I don't know if you guys like to watch, but I was just watching Sam the Illusionist, which he just did a video about Trump, which wasn't really why I was watching it, because I just like to watch to see what he comes up with. But he talked about Trump living a future life in 2240 before he mentioned his current life. And in the 2240 life, they didn't have names anymore. They had symbols. And his symbol was F45A, I think, which was so weird because in my header yesterday, I was getting 8A9. I'm like, what the heck is that symbol for? And then I had so these are the parallels that bring you into your resonance. So he just talked about something that I totally resonated with because it just came up in my headline the day before. So he was talking about in 2240 how we don't have names and we don't need to communicate. I think it was not full telepathy, but partial telepathy by 2240. It was very interesting. Yeah, well, there's a lot of stuff that's coming up that, it's hard to know what to talk about. There's talk about the war on Mars going on. Just talking about what, maybe an issue right now. There's a lot of dissension going on right now is the feeling I'm getting. So just, the calling is to just keep your energy high vibe, be love, no matter what. you know so the word metaphor was coming up, and the metaphor is a figure of speech with implying that all the world's a stage and all the men and women are the players, right, with their exits and their entrances. And of course that's Shakespeare. And meta has to do with boundary markers. conical columns in the ancient Roman circus, the finish line, the goat, the goalpost, the objective, the frontier, the ambition, the base, referencing baseball again, which I talk about a lot. Finding the needle in the haystack came up here too, because the haystack came up. Also, to kill a weak-willed person, it's like, you're always only as strong as the weakest link. So all these random energies were coming up and having to do with dehydration as well. Remember to drink your water because that's your connection. Like I always talk about, it's like the ultrasound. Without the water, you don't connect well to your higher self. Okay, so in metaphor, the word phorio is coming up also, which has to do with latent strabismus, which is squinting your eyes, which occurs only during dissociation of the left eye and the right eye, whereby the fusion of the eyes is absent. So a defect of vision due to imbalance of the eye muscles, a squint. And then for oocyte, again, part of metaphor, for oocyte, and then sight being the cell, is coming up literally as the mobile cell that transport buds of doliolids or sea squirts, as an example, enclosed in a tunic or mantle, each joint buried in the preceding funnel, like some insects' antennas, they collapse in on themselves. So the metaphor comes out here from the definitions as boundaries or goalposts, a measure to consider, appreciation, showing appreciation, the haystack, the dissociation of the left and right eye, carrying the weight of the world, or in other words, to bear or convey, to carry the weight of the world, consideration, appreciation, the haystack, in order for you to find the needle, a blurring of the vision, to lose 3D sight, to gain insight, holding space for others to see. The mobile cell, sea squirts, collapsing cups, the antenna, the shield, the mutable signs, the go-between, bringing the message back and forth. The metaphor, number 4. The emperor, expanding and contracting, who could be dismissive and yet appreciative and considerate all at the same time, the emperor. You can't find the eye of the needle unless the haystack is presented and held, right? It doesn't exist unless the haystack exists, the needle in the haystack. So I opened there was 2 books, Edgar Cayce's book, and I put them away already, but I can show them to you later. There was a financial advice book that was sent to me, and I opened that book up again to a random page, and it opened up to chapter 15, which again is the 15 energy of the devil, which was on the 15th, this day. And it said that nothing's free, but consider the source. If it doesn't feel good, ask yourself why, and don't do that anymore. If you change the channel to 0 point, there is free range there. Remember, you can attain all the knowledge in a book in one feeling, or the meaning of a number or symbol, which came up in the beginning of this video, that our names will no longer be names anymore in the future. So complication was coming up as COM, C-O-M, which actually has a definition of a pitchfork, which is the devil, which is the day that we're talking about here. And then the P-L-I-C-A-T means I roll up or fold or bend or flex. I arrive or to weave. So I have the pitchfork and I surrender to the connection, surrendering under duress. The glass was coming up, the watery and the trunk. So again, the wateriness of the surrender to the devil or sound. That's your choice. Do you want it to be really complicated or do you want it to be really simple and easy? Which is why I always like numerology, because just from remembering one person's number or one number of that person, I remembered so much about them. So the devil or the negative energies, they want you to have a negative association to the pitchfork, and there's confirmation there that because forks assist us to eat and nourish us, right? So why do we have a negative association with the pitchfork when a fork actually helps us to eat, and it's also a tuning instrument of sound and resonation? So I started this first read, the SIRIAN Starseed deck. I cut and dealt at 107 on the 15th. And I'm going to try to show you these pictures. I think that the cameras on this computer is somewhat good enough to show you the pictures on here. So I'm going to give it a try, okay? So here is this first, that's the first read, okay? I know the color's not that great, but we'll deal with what we can. And then this is the complete read here of this first read. Okay. And then I'll wait to show you the other pictures in the beginning of each of those reads. This might be long since I have a lot to catch up on. Before I start into this read too, I want to tell you about the information I got today since it's fresh in my mind. That's through a lot already. So I told you I was listening to Sam the Illusionist, and he ended the video with K-R-on, the mountain of K-R-on. So it made me think of the video by Cryon, which I don't usually listen to. So I opened that up, and Cryon was talking about, there was 4 recent videos. I watched 2 of them, and the energy of teaching you to connect to your higher self. It really was a video geared towards people who are starting to awaken and don't understand their connection yet, about the room that you visit, you know, when you connect with your higher self and finding your purpose, and then going to the second room of self-balance, the third room of completeness, and the fourth room of then being the new human. But he started this video talking about the percentage of the DNA that we're using. We're going from 33% to 44%, which is the title of my business, 3344, going from 33 to 44% use of your DNA, but that the Pleiadians were actually at over 80% use of their DNA, and that's what the masters were at when they came to Earth in their lifetimes here. So 3344 was coming up, as well as 80, which happens to be my destiny number, and my life lesson number is 44, so I found that really cool. So very interesting about the percentages of DNA that we're using. And just a reminder too, that you're always complete. There's nothing you need to do. There's not a job you need to do, or something you haven't done to complete your mission, that you're always complete in this moment. Remember that. And it's so important to just be complete, to breathe, relax, and know all is well. And just a reminder about that. So you can watch those videos if you want all the information about that. Again, that was Cryon, K-R-Y-O-N, which was interesting because in this read from the SIRIAN Starseed deck that I cut and dealt at 107, I was also getting at 117, E-flexion, and then the word on, which cryon ends in O-N, and it begins with cry, K-R-Y, but also C-R-Y, which is the same sound, so it really doesn't matter which letter you use. So from E-flexion was coming up the E, which is expansion. It's also the Elohim energy, the energy of Eve. But overall was coming up the fleck, and actually when I had my sighting of this UFO, I described the flash as a fleck initially. And that was coming up in E-flexion, but also ion, which is the connection. The E bends or persuades. The EFLI in E-flexion is without a doubt. Also to strengthen comes up here. And English as a foreign language for some. But the on, it wasn't the first time on or on came up, like it's on. And then cry on came up today as well. Did you cry? I had a good cry this week too. Well, I'm glad you had a good shift there. All right, so when I completed this read, it was 130, which is the Magician and the 30 of the Union energy. The major arcana were Higher Self, Strength, Chariot, and Reflection. Reflection is the Hermit. And before the read, Ascension and Guidance came up, which is the World and the Hierophant. And then after the read, Justice and Solar Deity came up, which is the Solar Deity is the Sun. We had 2 swords, 1 cup, 1 wand, 3 pentacles. And the court cards were the Page of Swords, the Queen of Swords, the Page of Wands. The Queen of Cups came up before the read. And after the read, the Knight of Pentacles, the Page of Cups, and the Queen of Pentacles all came up. We had double sixes in the read, which is the Queen of Pentacles. 23 of the King of Wands came up, and 6, 7, 8, lay them straight, also came up. That was it with the numbers. The code line was all about number 10 from the 8 and 2, which was interesting because the day prior to this, the code line came out to 10 from 2 and 8. So just the reflection of this. This read was all about pride and adventure. And you notice that ride is in pride, and that was separated from the P. And ADV was separate in adventure, so advertising was coming up. And the code line message. The code line message here was about to say or speak your words, say to the nth degree, and dance, which is the dance side by side between the masculine and feminine, and say, it's like saying and speaking is also saying to your higher self, connecting with your higher self, to surrender to the juggling, the act, the E of the expansion, the Elohim, taken for a ride. So advertising, law, and pride were coming up. But also essays. So not only speaking, but writing, but also an essay, as in having a lab test done or something like that. I had the TH and the HT on either side of EIG, which for me is a bridge. But I also had SA and SA on either side of that. So it was like a double layer of protection here of the bridge. Ownership and I am that I am was coming up here. The bridge with boundaries and pillars. The essay. It's two people, Christ-like Elohim, were coming up as the twins. The table headers, the bookends, protecting the middle, the bridge, the I am that I am, the possessions, the higher self performing and seeing. And then the acronym came up of Sathone, which can be Satan or the devil. That can be one of the definitions, Sathone, but without the one. And then thone, Thone, also came up, which is damp or moist. And then dry also came up as from the word Thate. So the polarity of being dry or moist was also coming up. And tithing also coming up regarding, obviously, giving at church or whatever, but housing, receiving a grant or concession or request, but also tithing is 1/10, or 10th to spare only 1 out of 10, or to kill every 10th person in the military there. So tithing can have very different meanings there. Say and flame is to say higher self, right? And flame is to deal with your flame, is also to say higher self. Giving up to the Elohim, which is also change, the 5, the E, the freedom, the expansion. Also Elohim for me is him, electric light orchestra. Pride and adventure comes up here also with DV, which is Dimnia Valstra, which means master your you or your lordship. Master you. Ride, I laugh or laugh at myself, ridicule or mock. So it's just talking about being able to laugh at yourself and yourself, your higher self, which is your other, your twin, being able to laugh at yourself and not take yourself so seriously. To say or write an essay or have a test about being dry, and this can be a dry sense of humor as well, to also do this with your higher self. So have a sense of humor or dry sense of humor with yourself, but also with your other, your higher self. 2 offices are perhaps why there are stalls going on, but also Stahlsee was coming up, which is to harden someone, to steel oneself, to make yourself harden, right? The 2 layers of protection. The path that all see, pride and adventure coming up. The P, the ride that pride takes you through regarding the adventure. And advertising and enture, E-N-T-U-R-E, the turban was coming up around that without the ban. And then also the wild goat, the bovine, to turn, to walk, to stroll, or to ride. So ride came up multiple times in multiple definitions. And also the law was coming up around this word adventure or enture. So advertising and the law. So just there were some random general energies for that code line. It wasn't very specific, except for to have a sense of humor about yourself and your higher self and make sure you have layers of protection or buffer around you. You know, you have your boundaries up to not allow that negative energy through. So this read starts with the Page of Swords upright. Beneath it was the Six of Swords upright, the Three of Swords, the Queen of Cups reversed, Ascension upright, and Guidance reversed. And Guidance is the Hierophant card. Ascension is the world. So peace and separation with the Queen of Cups reversed, ascending without guidance, or in a divorce. A break in contract without guidance, sending a message, or dolphin play. And that came up a lot in the read from yesterday, too. The ship in the storm, holding the light. The Queen of Cups reversed gets sick of holding the world without guidance or without guy dancing with the Page of Swords message that goes out or comes in. The Queen of Swords reversed with the Hermit holding the light. So the hands are tied up in a divorce or a break in a contract, religion, or establishment, needing a magician to find their way out of this. Like, you know, we need a miracle here to get out of this. Reaping rewards in surrender with the Wounded Warrior, coming together at work to see synchronicities or make things happen at 324, which there's the Empress and the Queen of Wands again, which can be the Queen of Wands and her mother. Seeing the writing on the wall, daydreaming of surrender to honor all that is seen. So at 325, which is then the Knight of Wands, the High Priestess is upright here with the Eight of Wands and the hostage of the Ten of Cups family, which can be a happy family, a happy ending, but it also can be an illusion of a happy family. We have the King of Swords upright here, the Queen of Pentacles reversed, the Emperor upright, and then the Sun is reversed with the Ten of Swords reversed, the Magician reversed, and the Tower upright. So sundowning, draining the worst over, perhaps of radiation if someone's in cancer treatment, and the Magician reversed, feeling insecure, then leading to a big tower moment. The day the earth stood still, after an explosion. The Secret, the Psychic, the Pisces or Virgo, imprisoned, resting, with the Ten of Cups, the end of the emotional cycle, the King of Swords upright, perhaps a military man, and the Queen of Pentacles reversed, ungrounded, and the Emperor needing a vacation. And remember, this is on the 15th. Is that Friday? Today's Sunday, the 18th. That's Thursday. This is Thursday. So the Emperor needing a vacation, the worst is over, time for bliss, nailed to the ceiling, bleeding out, magically holding DNA out of the water, you know, like you'd keep your camera held up out of the water, keeping it dry in a disappearing trick, or a sinkhole under the foundation, or a gold mine, Or magically, pink roses are all around, like my pink trees across the street. As the tower blows, found the needle in the haystack, in the eye of the storm, escaped at the 11th hour, all safe and warm and glowing. Tools on display of cards on the table, with green all around. No birds today, more of a dead sound. Just after the explosion, pinned, popping up in the least likely of places, or burial grounds uncovered, or tossed out of a burning building or structure, or Ocean's 10 plus 1, which can be Ocean's 11, or 16, that all happens in the 11th hour. So sometimes movies you've been watching come up in these reads as well. So if a storyline comes up, it might have been a movie you just watched. A sudden message that no one was expecting. The tower blows, throwing the fallen angel and or ego, death, or just ego to the nth degree. Pride comes before a fall, as Sagittarius and Leo are both reversed here after Scorpio got done with them. Now the worst is over, or a raising of the dead. Thanks for that about the sinkhole. The Leo is glued to the ceiling, all four paws as Angel fell, or Gabriel in Constantine, the movie. The powers are weakened, but the worst is over and a blissful state. The beast is rising versus the falling angel, or unable to sleep due to the pet upstairs, or feeling numb, or missing your pet so much, or flooding upstairs and lost so much. Wading through the ruins of stuff in the attic and the basement, or clearing out, or sudden wedding, or split, or birth. Sudden jealous rage, where the Queen of Wands perhaps is undressing or revealing in a splitting of the bowls, or getting screwed. The old man Hierophant, vulnerable or out of control, can be a narcissistic energy here, or a divorce, a break, or broke out. And the Knight of Pentacles is offering help or something healthy to the evil Empress with the red boots, the family crest, the conch shell and bug, the snake and Adonis with their hands tied behind their back, or cuffed. Or the Empress won't let the Knight of Pentacles near the Hierophant reversed, or one with Taurus in their chart. Or the evil Empress is a stable of women, and that can bring up prostitution, apple bottoms and thigh highs, or runaways with children, which was a movie that came up last week that I watched about a girl who ran away and ended up being pregnant and staying in a home with other girls who were pregnant. Or matching bony knees and a limp wrist. Pairing or matchmaker holding the old man down, letting the young ones go out this time around. And this was at 4 p.m. So a lot of source energy behind the number 4, or the emperor. And this came up in one of my reads as I go forward this weekend too, about someone stepping down and trying to get, just for an example, like if you're a doctor taking patients and you're going to leave, or you're going away for a sabbatical or something, you start trying to push your patients onto one of the younger guys who's a real up and comer, especially if you're retiring and you're trying to guide your patient load over to that other person. That kind of energy has been coming up as well. So we had Pisces upright, Taurus both upright and reversed, Virgo upright, Aries upright, Leo reversed, Gemini reversed, Scorpio upright, and then Sagittarius reversed, and Cancer upright, all in the underlying energies here. And I also was getting the message, the Wicked Witch is dead, but then I had a question mark. The Wicked Witch is dead? So I don't know how that comes across for you, but that was a message that was coming through. The happy ending of the 93. And then below that, 48, which was financial discipline, and 48 is that walking away and within. So knowing when to walk away and not perhaps contract with someone, financial discipline, or not spend, not shop. So the devil's reversed, detoxing, or has fallen, or Capricorn reversed. The lovers in court about child and home. So it could be child custody or dealing with a home, breaking up of the assets, or a journey to a false person, or Leo, and a wealthy man's path or transformation. Or somebody might be going to a masquerade ball. The show is over, say goodbye. And that, of course, is Madonna, but that was coming up as well. Okay. So going on the treasure hunt, X marks the spot. 3 lines down and a question mark. with a pinch, and instead of a squeeze here, it was coming up with a pinch and a squint and a tropical stint. Instead of Bloody Mary, Sexy Sadie's coming up as gotcha. The Wounded Warrior on the path. And the recent past was the Eight of Cups. Again, the walking away and within, letting go to fix or repair or make amends without option here. Starting over with clarity of the Page of Swords message and the Page of Wands inspiration of the Knight of Wands reversed, who may have fell off the wagon or fell short of the Page of Cups' message of love and the 3-hour tour. So definitely was coming up around the 3-hour tour is about the tiny ship that was tossed. So that could definitely have to do with, sinking ships. And there was that ship that it was in the news a couple days ago. Or the Page of Wands is excited but not expressing their true feelings, and the Page of Cups then is hurt because the other is not expressing their true feelings. Synchronicities of snakes and lizards and ghosts, and the Page of Pentacles reversed, being needy or needing help, or missed an opportunity or is dissatisfied with the injustice of the fool who is free to roam. And that can be jealousy too of someone else who's got more freedom than them. Sagittarius, Libra reversed, Aries and Pisces upright here, with the foundation being the Strength card reversed and their tail between their legs, feeling weak. The Fool free to move or visit, and the Knight of Cups offering love to the homeless, emotionally over it, with the Emperor receiving the messenger of truth rushing in, forcing them to face it. The central energy is the Queen of Swords reversed, hidden by the Queen of Wands upright and the King of Swords upright, spending a lot on stardom, healing, or dreams, or Aquarius, or the Ten of Pentacles reversed, family, business, or community, dysfunction, or loss of a member or dream girl. The Page of Swords, resting on break, meditating, praying, or laid something to rest or put away. Somebody may have gone into rehab or to get clean, or some kind of surgical convalescence or hospice, perhaps family visiting them, with the challenge being the higher self or Pisces, Virgo, and the Hermit reaping rewards or working with the gardener. You might be working outside, perhaps planning something new for your yard. In a need of help with the Page of Pentacles reversed, in a split or in need of the truth or shedding light for a friend or about coming together. The King of Pentacles frustrated and or uninspired or retired, resting on break, cleaning up the act or space for or with the Sovereign and the Empress and the Knight of Pentacles to come together with weak or ill King of Pentacles. So you notice the family here. We have the Empress, the Knight of Pentacles, and the Sovereign, which is also another child of Pentacles, and then the King of Pentacles. Or just needing the courage to stand up for self to others who may want too much from you, including your children. And that can be vice versa too. Maybe your parents want too much from you, or fending them off to awakening to their own light and heal, seeking attention from the Page of Wands who's inspired, or fending off a Capricorn reversed and an Aquarius upright to seek the Page of Wands upright, who may be, again, that up-and-coming energy. Somebody might be retiring and trying to pass the baton on to someone they really believe in, who's young and a real go-getter. The Page of Wands, masked boy with burning desires and a purging under the radar. At work, there's a masculine here, the main male, in an official capacity on path. And the Page of Wands inspired by the Queen of Cups reversed at night, or they may have Cancer in their chart. Or the Page of Wands is dumping on the Page of Pentacles reversed under the radar, while the Queen of Cups reversed may be working nights at 4:32, which is the Emperor and the Six of Wands. So there's a big love at work, but someone not getting their wish, with the world complete, or Pisces or Seal Divine Feminine facing their fears of working with or aligning with the High Priestess or their own psychic abilities, or Pisces or Virgo or their abilities, as the man with two lovers lets go of one. The King of Swords may be someone with Gemini in their chart. In an unfair relationship, it could be codependent or not sharing, and perhaps there's debt or somebody's scammed. By the King of Pentacles, superhero, who's the star, and the King of Wands reversed, warrior, or boldly moving to his childhood home, with the Empress upright, which can be a mother or a partner, grandmother, whomever, or to correct things after a falling out or had a bad childhood, with Aquarius, Empress, or Taurus, star, or someone is pregnant with twins, just like she likes it, getting all the attention. And that was referencing the Empress, but she was upright here. Or the King of Wands reversed, Cancer, who had a falling out with the Empress, or common denominator is the female with an addiction, and the King of Swords upright and the King of Pentacles upright and the King of Wands reversed around them, which would be a more negative energy, or maybe he's just really tired. Or the King of Pentacles and the Empress protecting the child star. So soon here is the Six of Pentacles reversed, feeling great 1 minute and then crying the next. The Hermit coming together to perform, but not sleeping well due to a special connection, but not sharing. An unfair give and take, moving to peace or peaceful travels, or two going away together before an announcement comes out, or agreeing to disagree and be at peace for the kids, a wake-up call taking forever and dissatisfied with the Ten of Pentacles, reversed family, business, or community, which can definitely be some dysfunction there. And running out of options in a split, lies, divide, or BS, a need for truth and peace here. There may be a dispute between the King of Pentacles, who's frustrated, and the Page of Pentacles reversed, who may be lying. So it may be a father and child, the child might be lying, or lying about coming together with the Hermit, who's purging or stressed out or not sleeping due to their connection or partnership at 5 o'clock on the dot, which is a lot of source energy, again, backing up the Hierophant, which can be any kind of commitment. Can be a Taurus person, a marriage, a business, a leader, a religious leader. It can be the patriarchy, can even be a representation of God. So the Hierophant, just however it resonates for you. The twin flames are seeing themselves as the Seven of Pentacles here, which in the SIRIAN Starseed deck for me is the Divine Feminine's heart. You too. Nice to meet you too. Hi, Bart. The Divine Feminine's heart in the E Tower offering the gold coin with time, money, and energy to walk away, or walking away from a big offer from the past, or walking away to look back, standing up to others on the rainbow bridge, or trying to keep in balance the imbalanced 3D from creeping over to the 4D, or seeping over to the 4D, over the 4D bridge to the 5D side, or tempted to burn bridges, perfectly good bridges otherwise, or burn britches, or standing up to family about inequity, sharing debt or responsibilities, and manipulativeness, taking tools. So they have to do everything now by hand, or leaving all the work for them and then offering their services so that they can get the money. So it's like someone offering your services so that they can reap the rewards of that money, or an imbalance here of distributions, or money being offered that's just not there, right? Somebody offering money that you don't have to offer, or offering money to those walking away and then manipulating those who work hard and then expecting them to pay. So again, this can be regarding people you work with, your spouse, your children, whoever's offering something that you don't have, and they really have no right to offer that. Flirting, love yourself first, let go of control issues, and soulmate all came up for the twins, or reaping rewards of retirement, while the other is insecure with too much work while asking for more, or offering help at 519, which is the Hierophant and the Sun. Ocean City, New Jersey. I'm sorry, I'm not doing readings right now. I'm doing my usual twin flame reads here. I have a union read and a twin flame read that I do. So at 520 here is the Hierophant and the 20 of Judgment. The Chariot is the vehicle of ascension, the injustice of an awakening, a breakup, a lack of affection. You may be dealing with crazy kids or pets or a Leo, or egos out of control. No energy, just feeling drained, or sundowning. So you could be dealing with people with Alzheimer's or dementia, any kind of those issues. But being on the move, it's really important coming up today, especially to get out there and move, take a walk, run, exercise to get up all those pent up energies. So Cancer's upright, Libra reversed, Capricorn reversed, Gemini and Leo all coming up reversed right here. The block being the Two of Pentacles surrender to dissatisfaction of arguing with the Queen of Pentacles reversed in a heated exchange or not telling their true desires. Nature comes up, pride, as well as even more so, completion and moderation. So doing things in moderation. The Fool walking the fine line. Just so you all know, this is the first time I've gone live. I don't know. I'm not good with computers, so I haven't figured out all the functions yet. I'm just testing it out. But this is my normal read that I do. So I'm not actually doing reads for anyone specific. Okay, but maybe in the future I will do a session like that. Maybe we can pull some cards and have some fun that way. Okay, thank you, Frost. Okay, so the Fool, there is the challenge being the Two of Pentacles surrender to dissatisfaction of arguing with the Queen of Pentacles reversed in a heated exchange or not telling their true desires. We have nature, pride, completion, and moderation. The Fool walking a fine line with Snake at their heels at 525, which is the Hierophant and the Knight of Wands, no longer strong-arming them. Reflections of the King of Cups upright, which is also unconditional love, destined to pursue happiness or unconditional love, expanded exponentially. The Hermit with the light and the Dream Girl awake to dreams under the radar, and the Page of Wands inspired here. The Knight of Pentacles, which can be Virgo here, proposing to help, and the King of Wands reversed, driving when siblings are together or on mother's behalf, or the King of Wands reversed is too exhausted to drive kids, so the Empress must do it. Reflection comes up here, the Hermit and the Knight of Pentacles upright offering help with injustice, of the Page of Cups open heart and message of love or baby, draining the Queen of Pentacles with the Sovereign on top. So Sovereign can be someone of any age, actually, who just has everything they need and are single. But it often comes up as a child who's an older kid, like a teenager or a 20-year-old, that kind of stuff. We have Virgo upright, Libra both upright and reversed, Leo reversed, Taurus upright, Aquarius upright, Aries upright, Capricorn reversed here. The family offering help with a newborn or child, the Page of Swords message of an epiphany or big bang, or there to cheer them up. And instead of a white wedding, a weak wedding was coming up, or shotgun or delivery. A marriage, so it could be a weak wedding or marriage, but the worst is now over. The Empress with a happy ending and now on path. The Page of Swords needing courage to reap rewards of travel, a move, going away, or from the Queen of Swords reversed and challenged by the higher self or Pisces in an unfair relationship of imbalance or debt, and surrender to be inspired by the Hermit's light. The Page of Swords walking away on path or hike, needing strength or to work on health with the Queen of Swords reversed, who is inspired. The challenge being the higher self or Pisces energy, reaping rewards of inequity of the Chariot or car, or moving or traveling, releasing it all in the light. The Hermit or Knight of Pentacles Virgo offering help, money, or services for injustice or for Libra reversed, with a message of love, or a love child who's draining the Queen of Pentacles reversed, and she now wanting her sovereignty back. And that can definitely be a new mom or a grandmom who's helping out her daughter with her new baby, and someone definitely like ready to have their sovereignty back, which is kind of funny, actually. So the Queen of Swords is reversed, tired of messages, or the Page of Swords tired of the Queen of Swords reversed, who may be the mother challenged by their higher self. And again, that could be the twins' kids being tired of their mother dealing with the twin flame journey. The masked little boy or newborn with mom enjoying imbalance and surrendering at 544, 44 being the mastering, grounding, integrating, especially of receiving love from a baby perhaps, and then the 5 of the Hierophant, which is that traditional commitment energy, institutions. The patriarchy can come up there too, and Taurus energy. At 612, we have the Lovers and the Hangman. Thank you, sweetie. Six 12 is the Lovers and the Hangman. So there's impatience coming up here. Oh, I'm sorry, hold on. That was actually the end of that reading. All right, so I had watched the night of the 15th, I watched Why Did You Kill Me? Yeah, that was a weird that was actually like a documentary, Why Did You Kill Me? And then I watched also, have you ever seen Fireflies? Which is a very good movie, but it's also sad. So this was the night of the 15th. And I did some meditation that night. I cried after that movie because it was sad, which actually is why I did a little purge that night. And when I did a meditation that night, I actually got Thor Han's eyes. I don't know if any of you watched Elena Hanan, because she's connected to Thor Han. But I actually saw Thor Han's eye come in, like felt him coming in to try to cheer me up. And there's definitely a connection with the Pleiades, with my twin, from messages I had gotten early on in my journey, like 4 years ago. So it was interesting, that connection that came up. So then the 16th happened, and that was the morning where I had my sighting, which was really exciting. So the 16th is the 16 of the Tower, and the day added up to 25/7, which is the Knight of Wands. And I went out in the morning. I hadn't been out in a while. I used to go out and take a picture of the sun in the morning, and I hadn't done that in a long time. In the winter, it's cold, so you don't go outside so much in the morning. So I went outside to take a picture of the sun, and I did. And as I took a picture of the sun, which the colors were, it was really bright that morning on the 16th, which was Friday. And that was the energy of the 16 of the Tower, and the day added up to the King of Wands. So very um, explosive type of energy right there. I looked up at the sun to take my picture, and I saw a flash. I'm like, really? And then I saw another flash. And so I knew that there was some ships up there, because I said that we might start seeing Palladian ships eventually. Anyway, I said that before. So I didn't see anything clearly because you're looking up at the sun. I can't really see anything, but I saw 3 flashes. So I took extra pictures, and I thought I missed the flashes. So I thought I didn't get anything. But then when I came inside and I looked at my pictures, I actually have 2 good pictures. I have one that shows white dots all around the sun scattered around, and all the other pictures have nothing. They're completely clear, just with the rainbow of the sun. And then the one that was really good then was the exact triangle of the dots right next to the sun, which I'll show you. I have them here. I don't know how well you can see them on this computer though. So let's see if I can get a shot here. Now I'm just confusing myself. Hold on. Maybe my iPad's better. Let's see here. I don't know if you're going to be able to see this, but hold on. So these are the original. I'm going to show you the original pictures. They're not transferred yet. This was taken on my iPad. Yeah. So this is the first one, which has, this is the picture. Okay. See if you can see it. It might take a second to come in. But see how there's like a little bit of a dot over here, right there? And now I'm gonna zoom in on this picture to see if you can see it. I don't know if you'll be able to see the white dots, but I don't know if you can see on this, if you can see some of the white dots all around the sun. Okay. And then the other pictures I'm not going to show you. You don't see anything. You just see the color of the sun, which were just, the sun was just so beautiful. Look at the rainbow. I mean, the colors were just, we never saw suns like that when I was growing up. I mean, the energies are very different. So this is the really cool shot. And I'm hoping that you can see this, because this is the triangle that I saw. All right. See the triangle next to the sun of the three dots? So there's a triangle, okay? And then I listened to Sam the Illusionist video that day, and he's talking about the triangle that I think it was the dark energy device that they're using on on Mars with the war, and the Palladian ships were coming in, and he was talking about. Well, anyway, watch Sam the Illusionist video from yesterday. It was talking about the war on Mars. Watch that one. So I was excited to show you that, guys, and that's when I started having problems uploading everything. Nothing was working. Thank you, sweetie. You can, Ms. Stone, you could do a YouTube and show your pictures. And thank you, Love 3, One Eternally. And thank you, Cardinal. I appreciate that. Yeah. And I don't like, yeah. I like doing the pre-record. I never edit anything. I just like doing the pre-recorded because, you know, I tend towards a more shy personality, so I can get nervous sometimes. Yes, thank you, guys. All right, so I did a union read on the 16th, and the union reads were coming up with some. I really like my union reads more lately. They've been coming up with really good messages for you guys. So at 4:05 on the 16th was the union read. I did a 4D, 5D, 6D read, and this is the main read. Oop. Okay, so this is the main read for the union, and then I'm going to do the twin flame read here. Okay, that's the twin flame read. Again, this is the SIRIAN Starseed deck for those of you not familiar. And then here is the full read for that one, okay? And I think you can see it pretty well. I think the color, let me just get the color a little bit better. Is that better? All right, so 4D, 5D, 6D. And this was done at 4:05, which is the Emperor and the Hierophant. The summary of the read, which would be the underlying energy, and then the center card, and then the final card at the top, which is the Nine of Pentacles, the Eight of Pentacles, and the Four of Pentacles. They were all Pentacles energy. The Sovereign working with the Divine Masculine's heart in the Batcave, and crystals. The incoming Divine Feminine energy was Ascension, the Nine of Wands, and Luna, or the Moon. The World in the right hand of the Divine Feminine. The Wounded Warrior handing off the baton, but not the third to the fourth baton, the fifth one. She did her half and is now taking a rest. Things calmer at night in transition through the portal of death. A rough night. There may be some inner conflict between having a handle on the earth and evening the flame, but the false light moon leaving something to be desired. The sovereign worldly woman and the warrior man after the storm as the ocean calms down. Or Pisces and Cancer and Scorpio coming up on the feminine side there at 4:17, which is the Emperor and the Star. The 4D here is the Death card or transition, the Seven of Swords. Yeah, they're really pretty cards. The Death and transition, the Seven of Swords and the Star in the 4D is the Divine Feminine transitioning through the portal into the light, and the sun just went back out a bit, or came back out. Like the sun really brightened right at that moment when I went to the description of the 4D for the feminine here. The Divine Feminine transition portal into the light, going left. The Divine Masculine star walking like an Egyptian, trying to lead her right towards healing and music, or the Galactic Rock Star, bending backward to release the Middle East Sirius portal, which is the Egyptian portal, I believe. Her going up, he going over, bridging by passing downloads while two bucks are watching. Downloads coming, but having trouble with uploading, all right? So a lot of stuff still coming in, but having trouble uploading it like I was having trouble uploading. So in the 5D here is the Ace of Swords, the Eight of Pentacles, and the Shadow. at 4:21, which is the Emperor and the World, the Divine Feminine Dolphin, and this was crazy too. So after I saw the 3 dots of the triangle, 3 of the cards in this deck had that triangle in them, which I never noticed before. So the Divine Feminine with the Dolphin, with the triangle, with the Truth just below the surface, and there OC was coming up, which I'm wearing my Ocean City shirt today. Oh, that's interesting. There's something significant about OC. So I don't know if it's an acronym for something else I'm not picking up on right now. But this was on the 16th. I wrote down OC, and I'm wearing OC today. So the Divine Feminine with the Dolphin, with the Truth just below the surface, ready to play ball with self or sovereign, seeing the triangle around the sun, and was literally in this card. And then I was getting Brighton Place as things are brightening up. And actually, we used to have a family house on Brighton Place. And then the sun brightened again. So again, a lot of the energy will be coming in. We're going to get a lot of pulsations. This was coming up over this weekend as well as now. So the Divine Masculine Shadow Web with his spidey sense in the 5D, bridging and working with crystals. And a lot came up with the word crystals today, and I'll get to that at the end. So at 4:37 to 38, which is the King and Queen of Cups and the 4 of the Emperor, I had just leaned on my hand. I just leaned on my hand as I'm looking at my cards, and it led me straight to looking at the tower quartz that I had just put in the pyramid last night. So before I had this sighting, I have a little glass pyramid over here on my piano, and I had a selenite egg in there. And last night before I had the sighting, my 3-towered crystal I always show you, it broke because it fell out of my lap and one of the towers fell off. So for some reason, I don't know why, because I've just been playing around with my crystals, I took the selenite egg out of the pyramid and I put the broken crystal in there. And the only way it could fit in there, it wouldn't fit in there if I put the crystal back in its original place and just sat it that way. But the way I put it in there was the only way both pieces would fit in there. And when I looked the next day after the sighting, the tower of the crystal in the pyramid was pointing directly at where I saw the triangle in the sky next to the sun. So you might want to play with your crystals. I've I have a quartz Merkaba too that I've been spinning too. So you may want to do some crystal work or just play with your crystals. I have some selenite towers in front of my house too with my lions. So, and then selenite was coming up. And the difference between quartz and selenite, quartz is very hard. Hi, T. Yeah, I saw 9/11 too. Actually, that was the time on my sighting picture when I took it on my other on my phone camera. 9/11 came up for me too. So selenite's very soft and quartz is very hard. And enite, E-N-I-T, part of selenite means out of shine. One shining forth or out. Gleam or brighten, which brighten just came up prior to this. And it also means I am distinguished or eminent. TZ came up, and there was no specific meaning for TZ except for TZIN came up, which is an honoring energy, an offering, a reverence. God's nature or small child. A righteous person without addiction. And then also addict was coming up. So the attic upstairs or addiction can be coming up here also. But I was getting the quarter, 1/4. Like quartz is quart, like a fourth of something, a 4. So 1/4 a righteous person who is hardened was coming up. Selene is the goddess of the moon and the desert rose. She's got multiple names, but was coming up around the crown chakra and the spiritual realms. And saying too, because selenite's a very sensitive crystal, that you can use it with the moonlight, not just the sun, because the moon takes in some of the reflection of the sunlight. So it's more of, I guess, a gentle emanation to the crystal. There's a lot about the masculine in crystal caves as well, doing work in crystal caves. In the 6D here, 6D is indigo, guidance, and the 5 of swords, the divine feminine with indigo, with diamond, lining steps with crystals, the divine masculine stretching from frog to prince, juggling 3 orbs or green orbs, 3 batons with 2 on the ground for later. And I just said that the feminine's not passing the 3rd to the 4th baton. She's passing the 5th baton and getting tired of passing the baton. And here's the masculine juggling 3 batons with 2 on the ground for later. Atop Mount Everest and losing facial features, because here we're in the 6D, you're starting to lose your density. Bridging with guidance with Buddha and Sphinx and Atlantis crystals here. The divine feminine, as I'm losing my voice, with the Atlantis crystals. Divine feminine underwater to underground cave through to the other side. The dolphin up to play ball with plum, Eve plum. So we get the buoy, magenta, and emerald. Or the boy, buoy coming up as the boy, putting you first. Now this underground cave thing is coming up here, and it's come up before, and it came up in a movie I watched a month or 2 ago about kids who had found a cave, and they had to get through the cave and then had to go under the water to get out again. And that's that same energy coming up. Going underwater, it's like the dolphin diving underwater, going through an underground cave with no water, and then coming out the other side, or there may be water under there. But again, getting from one cave to another by going underwater. And then the dolphin coming up, and again, the Lemurian energy coming up around the dolphins, coming up to play ball with the plum, Eve plum. Okay, so there's an indigo proposal coming up here and diving deep. The divine masculine, the star from Atlantis, with their spidey sense coming in here, and achievement oriented above the clouds in plasma. And notice plasma is please, ma. And also the ethers, very urgent ashes to spread. Perhaps Mount Hood or Sisters comes up as the divine masculine is playing on the dark side of the moon, dancing in the dark. Dealing with Cleopatra, Spidey Sense, and the Green Hornet or the Joker. Ready? Go. The divine feminine and divine masculine go in opposite directions to see who can get there the fastest, both sitting with crystals in the end. The divine masculine sitting in the crystal cave, and the divine feminine planning how to use them out back or in her secret garden at 5:15, which is the Hierophant and the Devil. So on the bridge here at 5:15 is the shadow, the 5D Spidey of the divine masculine passing to ground zero to be seen and get noticed, and then lining the steps with the crystal path, transmuting the portal entrance to her secret garden. The Sphinx lion or lioness is just coming up now, serious about Buddha, Gita, and ants. And ants can come up 2 ways, as the insect and your mother's sister. So the outgoing divine masculine here is the 4 of Wands, the 2 of Pentacles, and the 6 of Wands. The twin flames in union, surrendering to the journey, one big flame leading 5 in co-creation, and then retired to the 4 of crystals, big crystals in the Batcave, to think about Robin. So Batman and Robin. Sovereign, outback, so outback coming up, but also Australia, of the E-Tower, the 9 of Pentacles, the man with crystals out front, steps of the pyramid, the 8 of Pentacles, and the divine masculine surrendering to sit on 4 of them. 9 and 6, meeting at 8 in the middle to dance. And here's that difference of the 369 of the Tesla energy and then the 8 of the dance, which I just brought up at the beginning about the 3344 and the 80 of the percentage of DNA used. And we're transferring from the 33 to the 44% and then to the 80% of the Pleiadian level, the mastering level of how much DNA we use. And I always talk about the 88, the 80, and the 8 and the 44 as the 3D, the 44 being the 3D dance, the lap dance, and the 8 being the 5D dance of the flowing dance, that's always flowing. So the Divine Masculine wants to show here the 5D Atlantean castle that he's built. And then I was getting the masculine saying, like, where are you going? This way. You're going the wrong way. Come this way. So going on a treasure hunt again. And then he says, just like Charlie Brown, ugh, as Lucy leaves for diamonds in the sky. Charlie's changing brown to violet ray and home called Cesare, because that was a name that I had used. And Cesare means home of the ray. I didn't know that, but I had a miscarriage when I was very young. And I named that child Cesare. And I didn't know at the time, but that literally means home of the ray. So here that's coming up. Charlie Brown changing their brown to violet ray and a home called Cesare. Home of the ray. He's learned to hold a light bulb and create a flame by creating organized friction with organite, which equals organ in water or throat, that which what feather oneself to sleep, to eat, to give, and to exist. And fin also coming up here. The organ to sleep, give, exist, and eat, or feather, the organ to water. And we talked about stepping in mud or muddy water, and this comes up from Elena and Thorhan as well, that you can step in mud water and meditate and get a light bulb to turn on. So here's the organ to sleep, give, eat, exist, feather, water, the throat, ticklish, oneself, the heart in your throat coming up. So again, being afraid to speak your heart is coming up from that message. The divine feminine side was coming up with Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, Gemini, and Virgo, and the sovereign in the garden. And the divine masculine side was Capricorn and Aquarius, and the divine masculine in the crystal bat cave. Taurus was coming up between them in the center energy. The number from this union read came up as 64, which is the 10 of swords, the ending of pain and suffering. It also is the bliss when it's reversed. And the horizontal lines added up to 18, 18, and 28. The moon, and the twin flames of the 28, the two of wands. And the vertical pillars came up with 9, 9, 1, 15, 5, 4, 2, and 10, which is the hermit, the magician, the devil, the page of swords, high priestess, destined to end the pain. So 2 moons, and in 2 moons may be June 10th, because we just passed a new moon. So the next new moon is 5/11. The one after that is June 10th, as I was just losing my voice a little bit at 5/11. And so the new moon in June would be from 6/10, which is my mother's birthday, by the way, and my great-grandfather's birthday, through 6/24. So that period between 6/10 and 6/24, which would then be the full moon. And then I noticed that August 8th is a new moon this year. That's significant. So 2 moons and the choice of path, or the twin flames, and the twin hermits manifesting codependency with a secret message destined, or the Hierophant and the 2 of Cups coming together in destined bliss and commitment to each other, because the Hierophant can mean divine marriage as well. All right, so from the SIRIAN Starseed deck, I cut and dealt at 5:50, and this is on the 16th for the 17th. So this was the read for yesterday. At 6:04 was the Lovers and the Emperor of the 4. And GHT of orbs came up, and also orbs, which besides thoughts and words, orbs mean blind men and orphans. And I just watched a dance movie last night where the dance partner guy was an orphan. So that's definitely coming up. At 614 is the lovers and the temperance card, or the higher love, being very patient and balanced and taking one step at a time. And then Glastonbury Tour came up, and I finished clarifying at 620, which is the lovers and the judgment card. The major arcana for this read were karma, the wheel, justice, the hanging man, the star, and ascension. And before the read was Luna, or the moon. There were 2 pentacles, 1 cup, 1 wand, and 1 sword. So very well balanced there, but mostly pentacles. And then we had no court cards in the read, but after the read, the Page of Wands and the Queen of Swords came up. There were triple ones, double twos, and double fours. 6 and 8 were also very significant here. 22 is the Fool, 44 is the Four of Cups. The grounding, integrating, mastering of love, and again, the triple ones, accentuating that new beginning into the new cycle already. The code line was all about self-discipline and personal growth. And we also had 2111 come up, 111, 2244, but 12 of the Hangman, 24 of the Queen of Wands, 46 of the Six of Cups, 68 of the Page of Pentacles, 67 of the Knight of Pentacles, 78 of the 10 of Pentacles, and then 8, 9, 10 begin again and again and again. Keep coming back to center. The code line here regarding self-discipline and personal growth was all about seeing one and oneness, expanding and contracting to the nth degree in surrender to the Happiness Hotel. And it always makes me think of the Muppet movie, the Happiness Hotel, or the Fleabag Hotel, the caravan where you can come with your animals, which may be why there's fleas there. And Han Solo coming up here with Anne without the H. Disaster and bad behavior coming up, as well as sadness, pitifulness, remorsefulness, and moaning. Discipline of self, or the arsenal of growth. But growth was coming up here. Also, having a PE was coming up. Self with PE, or God or self pegged. And I was getting love and marriage with Peggy as well. The disciple of rowing to the nth degree, the rowing arsenal, or feeling sorry for oneself. To see Christ, ace, neutrality to the nth degree, and surrender, a disciple with an arsenal of sadness or bad behavior, or in other words, Judas. So that came up the other day as well, that Jesus was saying, say goodbye. The show is over, say goodbye. I'm done with the show of hanging on the cross. We're not doing that anymore. I'm not saving you anymore. You guys are going to save yourselves, because you're just like me. You can do this too. So that energy is coming up again. And the sadness and the need to be neutral and surrender, to be this disciple. And discipline literally means disciple of self, of oneself, to be not the disciple of someone else, but of your own higher self. So the word sense also came up, but not S-E-N-S-E, S-E-N-C-E, which means in your opinion. And then your words, not mine, right? That famous line from Jesus. So the silhouette, the shadow coming up. The word since and the word sense all came up as definitions under this sense, but also the word sen was coming up. There's lots of definitions for S-E-N. But long ago, an old direction, being reasonable, the cat or dog owner with lotus and sine wave, a stone without movement, being tardy and slow, with needs and desires, with judgment and temple, or a place to go, with 1 cent, 100,000 dreams, but with sensible mind, a sedan, and upward bound. So it's saying, even the stone, the masculine stone, has feelings. High vibe, number 10 coming up, destined to be cowboy-like. Howdy, ma'am. So like a polite gentleman. Or answering or surrendering to the name Anne or Han or caravan with self-discipline and personal growth. Also a long time acing an oath or a Roth. Someone's had a Roth for a long time, so they couldn't leave their marriage because of their Roth. Okay. Surrendering. 2 of Christ-like, a disciple of self and personal growth. Seen acing, expanding and contracting. Again, that neutrality, coming back to 0 point to the nth degree. 2, or being Christ-like. Crystal literally means Christ-like. A Christ disciple of personal growth. So we start this read with karma upright, and I just want to change my position real quick. Okay. So karma is upright, and beneath that was the 7 of Cups upright, the 9 of Pentacles reversed, the 10 of Wands reversed, Luna or the Moon upright, and then the 2 of Swords upright. Synchronicities and powerlessness, dumping a load, a burden, responsibilities at night, coming toward the light, coming upstairs, keeping to themselves, karma, judgment, and the crown coming up. Dropping everything now that the worst is over to receive the bliss of the messenger of truth coming in. The Queen of Pentacles and the King of Swords holding on, being moderate and confident now. The 10 of Swords reversed is the bliss state at 720, which is the Chariot, and the 20 of Judgment, which is also a wake-up call, an announcement. The innocence or message of love, sharing and destined to keep to themselves. The powerlessness after the suffering and silence, the epiphanies, the breakups, the lack of affection. But now the worst is over. At 723, which is the Chariot and the King of Wands, till death do us part came up after a sudden breakup or realization of the betrayal. Oh, thanks for the OC Orange County. I forgot about that. That's not how I spell Cesare, T. It's Cesare is Chezaray. So literally Shay Array. Constantine and Gabriel. And there is no death. And no one owns another. Resisting the fall from grace. Glued to the glass ceiling and faulty foundation. 10 of Swords of pain and release in the right kidney and liver. The heart through the left shoulder. Seeing yourself on the table and perhaps an out-of-body experience or life flashing before you. Everyone reaching for the sky, not wanting to go to hell. And then I'm a believer coming up. The Page of Pentacles looking closely, researching the gold coin, the Queen of Swords speaking to the masses, needing strength and courage, or Leo and Aquarius both reversed, so they may be depressed. The Beast with their paws glued to the ceiling, and the fabric of our lives, cotton, mouth perhaps, needing to heal physically, emotionally, and spiritually, purging out illnesses. The wound about fabric and factory workers, coughing up dyes and tainted water. So Erin Brockovich comes up here. Passion comes up here, and beneath it, release your ex. And if you don't have an ex, it's just about releasing those old energies that don't serve you anymore. Let go of them. So no more sex in the backyard, leaving the truth aside. So, not making love, having sex in the backyard because there's no truth in it, or just no peace or no peaceful place to go here, where the worst is over, not walking away, avoiding the dance. In the 3 of Wands situation, strumming her pain with his fingers, the harp here, in loving connection or comforting someone who's ill, and then offering another dessert and chocolates in exchange for sex and or affection, or using music of the harp to heal and imaging what it might be like or imagining what it might be like with her. No one to step on his heart or hide their dessert in a less clinical or less cynical world, stuck in their head about sexual betrayal and still could be doing it, getting one last time in or another one-night stand in a loveless or lacking relationship, while another feels sexual energy and not knowing if it's for them or feeling them with another woman. Self-love comes up with number 61, and beneath that, spirituality, which is number 77. Knowing and blinded by the light, wrapped up like a deuce, at the workplace, the King of Cups reversed, feeling a fool, present to the ship sailing away, the Nordic, the Viking, the grass and Chinese, the imports and exports, and shopping and receiving, or shipping and receiving, destined and unable to function, stuck, stubborn, disabled, or on strike, no movement at all, or drops of Jupiter in her hair. Only seagulls are pooping instead, or got dumped on, or dumped. Engines pumping and churning, and machines are back on, but he is forlorn. R2D2, robotic, but with a heart and has a sense of humor. Water causes shock for him, though, and falling apart. So it's like that metaphor for the masculine, right? Who you see as a stone and robotic, but he has a heart and a sense of humor. But water, emotions, cause shock to his system and a falling apart. He can't handle it. Cancer and Capricorn at the top of the heap, with Sagittarius lighting a fire under their butt at 817, which is the dance and being strong, and then the 17 of the star. Aries reversed here, and Libra upright, the King of Cups and the Knight of Pentacles, both reversed here. So Cancer upright, and then Aquarius both upright and reversed. Libra upright, Scorpio reversed, Gemini reversed, and Leo reversed in the underlying energies here. So starting the read, even more underlying. So the most underlying energies that came up here were the Page of Pentacles upright, the Queen of Wands upright, and then the Ace of Swords upright. So the student or opportunity or invitation with the Queen of Wands and the truth, and a studious chap, a fiery woman who may be seen as a goddess. We have the Ten of Pentacles, family, business, community, and legacy without an option, with the Knight of Wands leaving, the Emperor reversed, ending the nightmare, the stress, the purge, the ending of an emotional cycle of unhappiness with a family that is. The Knight of Cups reversed, not feeling like being a loving person, or perhaps feeling jealous or rejected, or grieving or feeling badly around the Empress. With the King of Wands reversed, and that can be someone who's just tired or sick, or someone who's pissed off, fighting about the energetic exchange with the divine feminine, the Pisces, or the world, or the ending of a cycle, or the coming full cycle here. With the Emperor reversed, or Ten of Cups reversed, family may be jealous or feeling rejected and feeling bad, not wanting to hurt them. As the Empress is upright and the King of Wands is reversed, in conflict over the energetic exchange between the masculine and feminine, or the family divided. The Emperor reversed perhaps had the Knight of Wands staying with him or helping and is leaving him alone, while the Empress is feeling guilty for dumping their dad on them, while the Empress is dealing with the King of Wands reversed, fighting with his ex, or trying to fight off the energetic exchange with the divine feminine, but unable to, and now tired of fighting it at all. The recent past here is the Divine Justice card, upright, coming in with good news to awaken the ex, or the coming out about no sex or a breakup, and grounding and integrating a message of love with the Hermit holding the light, the patient angel of a higher love. In separation or heartbroken or disappointed, the Queen of Cups is upright with their back turned, and he feeling guilty with his back toward the Queen of Pentacles upright, third party, or with a negative group or bad influences, but excited now or inspired. The foundation here is the Six of Cups reversed, the negative past, the difficult kids, the falling out. That can be a difficult childhood as well. Embarrassing self in front of those who may have been left out in the cold, or a fall from grace, defenseless to the energies and attacks, or of those cleaning up their acts now. The King of Pentacles reversed over the fall, or the Fool, with the Knight of Wands rushing into the rescue here. After coming clean or cleaning up their act, the central energy being the Wheel and destined to stay in your truth no matter what, working to align and end an unhappy cycle and settle out to be charitable and be patient and angel that you are. The challenge being the surrender to the force, sundowning, King of Pentacles reversed, or drained and losing money or stepping down, perhaps with an announcement. The Page of Cups and the Divine Feminine or Pisces offering love via a child or a message, and insecure without tools or using tools for evil at night, destined to struggle in the aftermath of justice, divorce, Libra, and Libra. There may be like a Libra Cancer and a Sag Libra here, and perhaps Scorpio reversed between them. After a falling out of an Aquarius and a Libra, or kids, and the Queen of Swords being upright with Aries and Leo reversed, or sad to see someone fall. Leaving big love at the work, or no big love at work at all at 842, which is the dance and being strong of the 42, which is the partners or the Two of Cups. Someone might also be surprised or shocked, grounding and integrating, sitting on the fence and sweet tweets above their head and planning a surprise party for someone. The Emperor reversed with the Wounded Warrior and the Queen of Wands upright, offering time, money, and effort, perhaps a payoff or a payback to dependent or maybe financial drains, whether it's a child or somebody else who's always asking you for money, or one who is powerless or making a big purchase, or an open-ended offer, the Hanging Man hanging out with the recent past, the right knee block. That could be anger coming up. Anything that's in like the lower joints, the knees, the hips, can be anger blocks coming up. Stuck in chaos, stuck in the need of a car that broke down, or just having car issues. An emergency draining, or kids, pets, Leo reversed, or an illness, or no justice with the Empress upright and the Queen of Pentacles reversed and the Knight of Pentacles reversed, which can be a mother and two kids. The Empress with the Queen of Pentacles and Knight of Pentacles can be older kids. Difficult kids, or falling out from the past, or dealing with childhood issues now, perhaps, or a friend, family, or lover, and moving on to make an offer. Seeing a new perspective with the Magician, who's now hangry and out of control, feeling insecure and manipulative, juggling with the Queen of Wands or trying to please her, but this is coming up as impossible. The Knight of Swords, messenger of truth, rushing in and cracking the whip with the kids and perhaps what they're watching. The Ten of Pentacles, family, business, community, or legacy with a message, or the Page of Swords with the control, and the Emperor reverse may be pissed off. And this could be like, a grandfather and watching TV with the grandchild, and the kid has the controls, and that's going to make the grandfather crazy. So justice of something healthy as a choice, not sex, and lover's crap. Like this is someone saying, why are you watching all this crap? Don't watch the breakups or the Bachelor, with the Emperor reversed detoxing, or with a Capricorn and Taurus reversed, or the grouchy old men, and the King of Cups is upright. With the Knight of Cups reversed, here's another father and child energy feeling rejected or jealous or moody or insecure. Or maybe he is the other, the father and child. One's upright, one's reversed though. With Pisces or Dream Girl and the Divine Feminine in the 5D world, and a narcissistic old man breaking out of a facility perhaps, or divorced, or muscle man gone rogue, or not seeing the girls, or now dumping them. While the Emperor's reversed and the Queen of Wands is paying the bill, and this also could be checking someone out of a nursing home or something like that, or a rehab, and someone has to pay the bill, or a hospital bill. Soon as the star reversed, depression or arrogance, the need to heal or dream in uncomfortable energies of judgment, announcement, a wake-up call, to jealousy, rejection, insincerity, and keeping to oneself, pretending not to know. And the Page of Wands excited on a quest to cut to the chase, to break away from the religion, the establishment, the marriage, the institution, or the Taurus reversed, and the Scrooge is coming up here, with the Queen of Swords speaking the truth, And the twin flames ascending with the wounded warrior home, in social distancing, dealing with third parties or bad influences, receiving a love offer from ending a nightmare at the workplace, suffering in silence or dealing with sister with issues at work, in connection or with a partner, receiving offers of passion, projects, and growth, while at the same time giving big money or an offer to a dependent or a financial drain or a big purchase. Three aces here, all going in different directions, or Pisces or divine feminine wounded warrior in union and deeply hurt, treated like the third party, with issues at work, offering love to all, in connection of receiving the sexual energy while offering time, money, and effort and a new life to someone else, whether it's a child, dependent, a partner, financial drains, or loss of power, money, and or independence at 922, which is the Hermit and the Fool. So that is that read. Okay. So then we come to the present set of reads. So one of the messages from Sam, the illusionist, channeling about the Mars war going on. They didn't want to say where because they didn't want, obviously they can't give away their tactics. But they assured us that the Andromedans and obviously the Galactic Federation were on board with this, and there may be fluctuation in sunlight over the next few days for us. So that may be why we're seeing a lot of bursts from the sun. Okay. So yesterday, I felt really discombobulated and off. Just that anxious energy that you just can't, no matter how calm you get, you're just feeling like you just want to escape from your body. And then my daughter's friend came over to do laundry. She's been through a lot lately, so I'm always happy when she comes over. But she was like a blessing. As soon as you feel that anxious energy or feeling uncomfortable, it's like the universe is sending you someone to distract you to make you feel better. So know that, like, be aware of the gifts that you're being sent. I also at 3:11 yesterday felt my ears pop. Once in a while I hear them shift. It's not like it's the same kind of sensation as your ears popping on the airplane, but you don't have any discomfort around it. It's just a sound thing. So I had that ear pop shift happen at 3:11 yesterday. And then 3:14 came up again, which is pi, but it's also my daughter's birthday. So when you're having an off day, you need to be the mother to yourself. So imagine yourself holding your inner child, have the ice cream that you're trying not to eat, which is my issue too, because I love ice cream. Certain ice creams, not all ice cream. But just to allow it all. And if you're going to enjoy something or eat something that you don't normally want to eat because it's not necessarily good for you, make sure your intention is to enjoy it. Never feel guilty while you're eating something, because then you're negatively influencing that food. Make sure to love and bless your food and thank it, so you become, you're melding your energies together, and then allowing that energy to also serve you while it's in you, and then others when you let it go, right? So that water that's going through you is now blessed, so it then can go through the sewer systems and help others as well. So don't forget to do all of that. Become one with your food and drink. Bless it, love it, heal it, give it your positive energy, because you all have some major powerful energy out there, and don't forget that. So I'm going to show you the next set. This is the read that I did yesterday for today. Let me just make sure it's the right one. All right, so this is the union energy. Okay, and this is the SIRIAN Starseed deck. And here is the twin flame read. And I can see it very well, but sorry, I can't adjust it like I would normally on my iPad. And then here's the complete read for the twin flame read. Okay. Okay, so this is done yesterday at 8:46 last night for today. And this was a cool union read. I really like this one. All right. So this was 40, 5D, 60 read as well. And the underlying energy was the Page of Cups, that innocent love. It could be a child as well, but it's that very open-hearted innocence, always allowing yourself to be loved no matter what anyone else does. You can't control what anyone else in this world does. You can only control what you do and what you react to. The central energy is the Reason, or the Emperor card, and then the Ten of Swords was the closing energy there. So being open and loving to the Emperor. So here we have the Emperor and the Page of Cups. They're those polarized energies, right? The sweet, innocent, loving baby, and the Emperor who's in control of many people. Open and loving to the Emperor in order to end the pain. So here's where grandparents and grandchildren may be spending time together to help each other transmute energies and heal. So at 8:48, which is the time I saw the sun, the picture of the triangle in the sky was at 8:48 in the morning, the day before, on the 16th. Here it's 8:48, which is the Strength card, and the Eight of Cups, walking away within. The innocent child opening up to the Father, the connection to bliss. And that can be the child, and the Father can be you and Source. The incoming Divine Feminine is the King of Pentacles, the Three of Pentacles, and the Five of Pentacles. The King of Pentacles is also Akashic Records in this deck, the SIRIAN Starseed deck, co-creating with the Hermit in exile, the Mary Magdalene cave above the group, feeling shunned perhaps from the spiritual community. And I've definitely felt that. I've actually, when I've reached out sometimes to certain people in the community, and not talking about any of you guys, they can be very dismissive. It's not necessarily a very welcoming energy unless you're like in the in group, right? In your soul group. So it's just really so much about allowing, staying open, so you allow those people who do resonate with you to come towards you, the ones that you'll definitely feel comfortable with as well. But there's definitely energies around that coming up. Again, the insecurities, feeling rejection wounds, feeling abandonment wounds, all of that stuff comes up in regards to that. So the King of Pentacles and the Akashic Records of co-creating with the Hermit in exile, and the Mary Magdalene cave above the group, feeling in exile and disconnect, not only feeling in exile from your family or friends or your regular community, 3D, but maybe feeling in exile from the Twin Flame community or the Ascension community at large, feeling shunned from the spiritual community, the Master of, to the nth degree, the shaman energy. This also can be feelings of guilt, of expanding and contracting, the now moment, the holy place, the egg, the place of hiding, the contraction, the flirting and grieving all at the same time, of the Christ-like energy. And notice Christ-like is crystals, but also Chris and tales, right? Cries and stories, the stories of your woes. So all this is coming up around the shaman energy to transmute your own energies. The V coming up, VE, which is the egg, and the holy place, which is you have the uterus, and then the vaginal canal, the birthing place. The Re of the shaman, and then the ALS of being like something, like Christ, but also it means the cliff, the cliffhanger, the plot, the owl, AWL, the flow, and the temple, right? That your body is your temple, that the sacred place of your womb is a temple, and so ALS means the plot. So it's like not only Christ-like, but the plot of Christ, the story of Christ, of the Christ, of the crying path. CRY is crying, and ST is street or path. The crying path, the purging. So of course, is coming up. Here's a definition as well. Of course, the crying path, the plot, the cliffhanger, the temple, to flow, the master of the high road, an energetic exchange of the one in exile, the birth canal, the 4D, or being squeezed and pushed out. That's the feeling of the 4D, just like the birth canal. And dryness of mouth and lips here. All right, so okay, so just remind you that sometimes we get squeezed extra tight, and now is one of those moments. The 4D is the 6 of Cups, the 6 of Swords, and the 7 of Swords. The divine feminine children loving each other. The divine masculine passing downloads. And that's a switch, right? Now receiving attention, seeing white balls like I saw up in the sky, seeing white balls up in the air, messages getting backed up from a painful place or a place of ending pain. The perspective of the 4D bridge, the birth canal, the bridging of peace or with peace, perhaps taking a friendly swim and diving deep with focus on socializing and Metatron's cube as well coming up. So again, socializing and feeling left out as a third party, not welcome here. Those wounds may be coming up. The 5D here is the King of Wands, the reason, which is the Emperor, and the 3 of Wands. The divine feminine as the shaman or the King of Wands with the sun at their left back, which is the feminine side. The divine feminine rising, the divine masculine with the 3 of Wands present to the flame with their heart wide open to love and be inspired or share inspiration. The divine feminine in their masculine energy, the masculine in their feminine energy, bridging with reason, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. But the Holy Spirit today is coming up as the mother and child because she's the mother with child as one. This is the Holy Spirit that's coming up right here. That the sky is blue, but the clouds passing through are red. And know this, that you're still, and Jen McCarty always talks about this. This is a great metaphor about the sky, that you're always clear and that the clouds are always just passing by. They're not permanent. That the sky always knows they're just the sky, and these passing by clouds will disappear soon. Don't worry about them. So that was coming up here as well. The mother and child within, and the mother and child being the mother pregnant with child within, the father and son without. The 6D coming up here is the 2 of Wands, the transition, and the Ace of Swords. The divine feminine as the twin flames in the ethers. 6D is very high up. You know, when you go into 7D, you can't be seen anymore. Your density goes away, right? The divine masculine dolphin in plasma energies, ready to play ball, bridging transition through the 6D portal. Now you see me, now you don't. Because when you transition from 6D to 7D, then you start disappearing, right? The disappearing act. So when I wasn't able to load my videos this weekend, I kept getting the error with 22% all over it, and descending percent, 22%, and then 7D was coming up. That was the last thing on the error. So it's pretty cool because all about 22s and percents and then 7D. So, and now you see me, now you don't has come up so many times in the past couple days. And I also, after my daughter's friend left yesterday, I zonked right out for like an hour, which I don't normally do during the day. So there's definitely been some intense energies going on. All right, so the divine feminine at 9:46 last night, 9 being the hermit, 46 being the 6 of Cups, the children in the garden, loving each other, hugging each other. The divine feminine meeting on the bridge, the inner children loving each other with the 5D shaman, the Re, the 6D twin flames, and the divine masculine, the 4D 7 of Swords or orbs, the pearls coming together and threaded from pain. Remember, the pearl comes from the bacteria that gets into the oyster or the clam. The pearl is the defense mechanism that builds up to protect the clam or oyster from the bacteria. So without that bacteria, without the pain, you never would have had that pearl. So here's the 4D rainbow bridge, the purge, the purgatory of the pearls coming together, threaded from pain, the shedding of the old story on the 4D bridge, as the 4D transformation from caterpillar to butterfly with wings sheds their skin from birth pangs to contractions to the 6D ready to play ball and burst forth out of the water, and 2 dolphins here playing games under the water, sending 7 balls to transmute with flames, 3 for 6D buoyancy and ready to play, under the water with a secret cave, a go-between, the portal between dimensions. So again, that energy of going underwater and finding a secret cave to get out the other side so that you can get out and up to the air again is coming up as the portal, what the portal is like. And again, the plasma ethers of the 6D have been coming up constantly in my union reads. So the bridge here is the 4D, the submarine coming up, the yellow submarine, the Mary Magdalene yellow submarine. Below marine, and marine breaks down to marry oneself with feelers out. Feelings, nothing more than feelings. Trying to forget my feelings of love. So that song was coming up. Fin was coming up here, but the fin of the dolphin. The difference between a dolphin, one of the differences between a dolphin and a porpoise is the fin. So for a dolphin, it's a curved fin, which means they're more social. And the porpoise has a very straight fin. So the fin, which also can be the financial number, the fin of the circle of trust, the connection, and again, that can be your social circle. The circle of trust, the connection to Santa in 5D, passing down the burning hand to be pulled out with cool waters, or to be put out with cool waters. Sending a 5D flare into friendly 4D waters while sneaking out of the 6D back door, the portal. Now you see me, now you don't. So just because you sneak out the 6D portal into the 7D, because some people can do that, doesn't mean they're staying there. They can do that to come back into the 3D or 4D. Now you see me, now you don't. The outgoing divine masculine is coming up as the reflection of the hermit, holding their light while climbing to the top, getting the 9 of Cups to support so that the flyer can see over the falls at the top, a sneak preview of what's coming over when the rug gets pulled out from under and the old support system is gone. Leveling the playing field, which is like what happened to me. I couldn't do my old way of posting the videos, so I had to try the live and see if I could do it or not. So leveling the playing field to a different configuration, 9 below ground and 1 in the light. The 2 hermit submarines passing in the night, the dolphins and their messengers as the emperor makes transition. 6 rays of my sun with the sun up in the sky at your back, signed off by the logical man here, exiting the stage. So not only is Jesus exiting as your savior, well, God is too. It's on you now. You guys have the ability to do this. The show is over. Say goodbye. You're on your own. So, or as the old man feeds the dolphins, the girl goes toward the light, exiting stage light. The 6D in it, but not of it. The 5D Trinity and the 4D socializing and sharing messages and diving deep to see what's left under, to let go of. So in this union read, the Divine Feminine had no major arcana on her sides, just the Page of Cups, the King of Pentacles, the King of Wands, and perhaps the kids. And that can be the inner children between the masculine and the feminine as well. The Divine Masculine had the Hermit Virgo on his side and no people. And between them was Scorpio and Aries. The number from this read was 62, which is the 8 of Swords. The horizontal pillars came up with 13, 3, and 46, which is Death, the Empress, and the 6 of Cups. The vertical pillars came up 3, 5, 8, 6, 11, 10, and 19, which is the Wounded Warrior, or the Empress and the Hierophant. And then the 8 of Strength and the Lovers, or being 86th, right, out of here. And then Justice, the Wheel, and the Sun. So the transition of mother and child. So there's definitely talk about a lot of mothers having children, but also the mother and child, not just being the Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost, but the Holy Ghost is actually the mother who's pregnant with child. Now you see me, now you don't. So the transition of mother and child, or the Christ released from prison, no longer bound to his mother, no longer the mother's savior, and that can be in the 3D realm, the Empress and the Hierophant dancing lovers with justice, complements of the high vibrational sun. Okay, so it's very much about Jesus and God. So then we have the twin flame read, which I cut and dealt the SIRIAN Starseed deck at 1046, which is the Wheel of Fortune, and then again the children in the garden hugging each other at 1055. ER of orbs. So there you go. T is your 911. ER is all about 911 of orbs. So not only thoughts and words, but blind men and orphans at 1055. A turn for the better, and the truth. The Excalibur is the 55. I finished clarifying at 1111. And the major arcana here were shadow, guidance. Guidance is the Hierophant. Transition, which is the death card. And then before the read came up the starseed, which is the Fool, the solar deity, which is the sun. And then after the read, the Great Wheel came up, or the Wheel of Fortune. We had 3 wands, 2 pentacles, 1 cup, and 2 swords. And the Page of Swords came up. The Page of Swords was the only court card, and then the King of Cups came up before the read. After the read was the Knight of Wands, the King of Pentacles, the Queen of Swords, and the Queen of Wands. And in the read, we only had double ones. That was the only double number. So again, so much focus on new beginnings here. We also had 3, which is the Empress, 56, the 2 of Swords, being in your knowing and keeping your energy clear. The 89 is the reverse of the 98, the human temperature, which means you're off human body temperature, you're expanding or contracting. So the code line for this read finished at 1111 was all about birth and love, and we just got finished talking about the birth canal and the mother and father, and the mother with feminine child, and then the father and son of God and Jesus, right? The traditional way of looking at that energy. So birth and love coming up. The code line was all about this, and the number 23, which came from 5, 1, 8, and 9. 23 is the King of Wands. And some of the other numbers that came up, 13, which is death, 35, which is the Wounded Warrior, 68, the Page of Pentacles, 34, the 8 of Wands, that energetic exchange, the arrows of love, the 45 of the 5 of Cups, which is also the grieving energy, the sorrow, the woes, the longing energy, all to be transmuted and let go. So the male-female energy was coming up here, when we were just talking about that with God and Jesus and the mother and child. The male and female, but also the M and F are the Monday through Friday, 7 days a week. The magnetic and the expansion and contraction of the magnetic Metatron and the electric Michael, right? And the Hierophant of change and freedom of expansion. And the source tracing guidance, which is guidance, but also the guidance of 8A9, which is where I told you about the code about we're not going to have names in the future. So maybe my name in the future is going to be 8A9. But what it was coming up with online was 8A9 came up as South Fulton Airport in Palmetto, Georgia. It also came up as placental alkaline phosphatase, PLAP, or clone 8A9. It's also brought up as the placenta during the 3rd trimester of pregnancy for detection of specific antigens of interest in normal and neoplastic tissues. Something else that came up from 8A9 was actually an apartment at the Philadelphian, which is a big complex downtown, at 2401 Pennsylvania Avenue, apartment 8A9. And that was at 1221, which is so funny because way back when, 30 years ago, my friend lived there in an apartment. So the Philadelphian coming up. And also that's when the movie I was watching ended last night, Into the Beat. That was a fun movie. It was a dance movie, where the two find each other and they love each other, and the struggles with their parents and what they're expected to do versus what their heart feels. So that was kind of a fun movie to watch. So then from the code line, Mach 5 was coming up, and Speed Racer, but also Source 1, Mach 5 and Source 1. But it may be someone with a stutter. That has come up several times. Someone might have had stuttering issues when they were young. Because I was getting like Mach 5, right? So for the masculine, and that's not to make fun of anyone. It's just been coming up as something to give birth to bake, the right to hire, Having low contractions is coming up here, which equals love, that it's time to come. And then we had birth and love again here. So we start with the shadow reversed. Beneath it was the King of Cups upright, the Star upright, the Four of Pentacles reversed, the Starseed reversed, and the Solar Deity upright. The King of Cups, rock stars coming up here in the opening of the Twin Flame read, opening his heart the day the sun fell into the earth, the day the earth stood still, which came up the other day as when the Big Bang happened, when the planets finally settled into their place, just like the little dots I saw around the sun. It's that same kind of energy. Once the explosion happens, they all settle into their place. The day the earth stood still, shining bright, exposing all, detoxing, the sun burning away, right? That's that transmuting energy. It's like revving an engine, burning off the extra crap off the engine. The sun burning away what's no longer needed, the shadow exposed to the light, the happiness burning bright. The Knight of Wands runs away from the King of Wands reversed, going back to where you once belonged. To be happy with self, released and awake, justice with dysfunction or loss of an old man. The wounded warrior and the Empress reversed, and there's that mother and son, the wounded son with the father he may have had issues with, and the neediness of the mother perhaps, the neediness for attention under the radar, an energetic exchange with the Page of Wands, detoxing deception of the false light. The new moon detox, no more howling with the dogs, no more ball and chain, or selling their soul to the devil. Take a moonwalk, or walk in the moonlight before dawn. The Page of Wands, inspired by Capricorn reversed and Cancer reversed, which, they're on the same two sides of the same coin there on this astrological chart. The Page of Wands, inspired by Capricorn and Cancer, both reversed, which can reference not Cancer or Capricorn, but it's heavily in their chart. So both rising, they could be rising signs as well. So uncomfortable, not walking away, the wounded warrior is coming clean, or getting clean, cleaning up their act, to offer his rod, but not his staff. In the three-legged race of tiptoeing upstairs or tiptoeing through the two lips, an offer they can't resist at 1251, which is the Hanging Man and the King of Swords. So one with the swords, the other left wounded. The sword and the stone, the rock or stone cold. So we have the Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin coming up here. So the Wrestling Federation could be coming up. Engagement comes up, and beneath that, free yourself. At 1254 is the Hanging Man and the Page of Swords. The Knight of Cups reversed, getting their wish, starting over in love. The Emperor upright and the Page of Cups reversed, no longer trying to get through to him. The Knight of Cups rejected, saying, "Who, me?" Starting over. Stunned and trophy wife getting all the attention, receiving all the light, as the Page of Cups reversed may feel rejected too. Off the fence, the Emperor granted their wish, and perhaps the Knight of Cups and Page of Cups are both reversed. Maybe they're kids who are pissed off, or sad, or just feeling rejected, or perhaps just being moody and a pain in the butts, right? Or maybe you watched a life story of Philip, or the Actors Awards, or sweet tweets no longer over their head, or a baby crying, or the Emperor purging, or received a rejection letter or two. The rock magnet coin, a waste of time, expensive fruit and origamis all over the floor, in the Roman tile bathroom, the royal throne, the emperor's home. Compassion comes up here, but beneath that was physical activity. In losing a battle, but won the war, the Ten of Pentacles reversed, family, business, or community, detoxing dysfunction and loss. The King of Wands, the Man of Passion, rising above, levitating actually, standing up to others to relight the flame or torch after a falling out, or kids against them. Sunshine, fully energized, exposing all, frustrated and unable to understand, unable to get aroused or find humor in a secret passion or exposing a secret, burned by the sun or by their own light, or bit by the love bug, smitten and frustrated or falling away from the sun. Orbs that are being seen, again, that can be blind men and orphans. Saturn rings touching down on Aquarius waves. touchdown, time in the sun, Leo upright and Pisces reversed, someone got hurt, or falling out between the King of Wands and his kids or his past. The secret passion and detoxing deception of the Page of Cups reversed, who's offering new passion and growth and creativity and their own compassion. And that can be for self as well. So the underlying energies came up here is the Page of Swords reversed and the Page of Swords upright and the Six of Swords reversed. The Page of Swords without peace or without peaceful place to go. And then after this read is coming up moving, visiting, or powerlessness of dependence and or financial drains. And the Queen of Pentacles reversed, or mother and daughter who are worlds apart or their worlds upside down, moving or in a breakup or in a lack of affection or unstable home with the Nine of Pentacles reversed and the Queen of Pentacles reversed. The mother and daughter or two earth sisters, ungrounded or spending to move, and the divine feminine in the 5D twin with her divine masculine. New information and clarity about the Queen of Wands reversed and the Page of Pentacles upright, abusive to student or perhaps child, or the Queen of Wands reversed is tired, sick, or pissed about an opportunity. Or perhaps this is a Page of Pentacles opportunity or invitation, or a mother and daughter or two sisters are spending a lot to travel around the country or the world at 126, which is the Magician and the Page of Wands, perhaps without a lover or without a partner, or perhaps the way in some religions or families, it's not proper to do so for a woman to travel without a man, right? Without affection of a lover, perhaps at a distance or in a disconnect with clarity about the Queen of Wands reversed and the Page of Pentacles or an opportunity and what's actually the actual situation here. In the recent past is the Ace of Pentacles upright. In a new breakthrough, the diamond in the rough, without options and with a negative past, falling out or issues with your kids. Insecure or without tools, the King of Cups holding back an announcement or a judgment until they get a chance to fix things or make repairs. Thinking outside the box or in a break or divorce. And the Queen of Swords upright, third party, losing their mind, trying to end the nightmare, the stress, or the purging. The foundation being the Three of Wands upright, being present in the moment, or the Page of Wands excited about dreams, but in negative self-talk at the same time. The Emperor presently healing, forgiving the kids perhaps, or Aquarius, or lying, spying, and rumors going on and or bad news. The central energy is the Six of Wands reversed, perhaps feeling a failure, seeking attention under the radar, or getting the wrong kind of attention. And synchronicities about making amends and rejection of the King of Swords reversed, who's not receiving an offer of big love or feeling overwhelmed and purged or in the dumps. The challenge being the break away from the religion, the establishment, the marriage, or a Taurus reversed, unable to manifest in the downturn or the twist of fate, receiving the truth or was told the truth but didn't listen, or forced to make an offer with a knife at their back or felt they. Gemini or Virgo reversed, Libra and Taurus reversed, or pushed to settle out and move forward. The truth pushing them along. Juggling, performing, or no peace. The Queen of Cups is upright, ending an emotional cycle of unhappiness. The patient angel, the King of Pentacles reversed, presently awakened to the High Priestess reversed, perhaps making a bad call or making no announcement at all. Grieving loss, regret, or the past with the King of Wands reversed and no peace. Perhaps dreaming of being able to tame their inner beast or a strong woman, and the King of Cups upright being unconditionally loving. Now in the present moment, is the Nine of Wands, the wounded warrior, purging deception of nightmares with the Queen of Swords upright in separation, three people falling, not using their intuition, or lacking faith at 148, which is the Magician, and the Eight of Cups walking away within. Cancer and Aries, Pisces and Libra, all reversed, but Sagittarius is upright here. No more obsessing over cutting hair or cutting cords, or somebody could be, obsessing about cutting an umbilical cord with their first child. Surprising or shocked, the Magician reversed, manipulative, insecure, or without tools, and no big love at work. Ending the pain, betrayal, or getting massaged Two out in the cold with clarity in energetic exchange with dependent or powerlessness or clinging, feeling overwhelmed, purging, dumped, and the Empress reversed, grieving in a painful ending, no longer marking their territory, or feeling castrated, no longer putting it out there at 154, which is the Magician and the Page of Swords. So justice is broken at 155. So now we have the truth here with the 55, the Excalibur. Justice is broken and not in tune, or a state of emergency where no one's available to help right when you need them. Or justice, divorce, or Libra upright is with Cancer reversed and Pisces reversed, reaping rewards of their hard work perhaps, or maybe the other person's work. And soon as the Eight of Pentacles reversed, defenseless to things that are not working out, suddenly settling out and holding their tongue, of lying the whole time, and without an excuse of a sudden event, an epiphany, or eruptions. That the Page of Pentacles is a child with an opportunity to think outside the box, to be strong without affection, and or in a breakup or a divorce. The Page of Swords reversed with rumors or negative self-talk, bad news, and exposing all, resting or taking a break. The twin flames seeing themselves as the Five of Cups upright, grieving, offering a new life, or a payoff to the divine feminine in the 5D, or to end the cycle, or to a Pisces reverse with punitive damages for pain and suffering. And that doesn't have to be a legal thing. It could just be the energy of giving to someone because you feel bad for what they had to go through. The King of Pentacles reversed, being patient, perhaps with a child, Leo or exposing all, overworking, or dealing with what hasn't been working out, and starting over in love, coming out, going crazy with the world upside down. And we have stay optimistic. It is safe to love. Make the effort. And then I continued today to finish this one up around the twin flames. The transition is reversed, clinging to being unloving, jealousy, moodiness, insincerity, and instability. The Queen of Swords is upright here, speaking of disconnect and or being at a distance, dealing with pain, the war, and betrayal. Perhaps someone's dealing with major surgery, a virus, or infection. The challenge being the Ace of Swords upright, the truth that lies just below the surface, with the Queen of Wands reversed in a breakup, without affection, social distancing, dealing with bad influences and or third-party issues or interference. Rebirth and love come up, but even more so, music and synchronicity. The Ten of Pentacles reversed, dysfunction or loss, a fantasy family, a business or community. The Hermit over isolating, going crazy or coming out, about the flame and wanting to relight. The Page of Swords reversed and negative self-talk, lying, spying, and rumors flying. Bees busy, not putting it out there. No peaceful place to heal, to shine their light or dream. Being strong, taming the inner ego, and being the King of Cups, which is unconditional loving. Negative self-talk under the radar, though, feeling a failure and resting and taking a break, meditating, prayer, perhaps laying something to rest. The Knight of Wands is upright with a slow burn, with justice, break up, a breakdown or breakthrough, needing to use their intuition, or a secret came out about reaping rewards and letting go of the Queen of Pentacles reversed, perhaps with work issues, or just allowing yourselves to be, being. Exercise, walk, job, release stuck energies, jog. Anyway, it's just about getting your body moving to release any pent-up energies there. Libra upright, Cancer reversed, Pisces reversed, Virgo reversed, Aquarius upright, and Leo upright here. Speaking about the downturn and the twist of fate, with the Queen of Wands reversed, carrying the burden, the weight of the world perhaps on her shoulders at 119, which is the Magician and the Sun. So the shadow is reversed here at 120, which is the Magician and Judgment. Detoxing of the Three of Wands, being present to the now moment, grieving, loss, regret, taking forever to end, a new life offered under the radar, challenged by the Hierophant reversed, the fall of the patriarchy, the break from a religion, establishment, the marriage, the societal norms, the control, the overworking, the not working out, and the truth presented to the wounded warriors with negative self-talk. The Knight of Wands, like lighting a fire under your butt, like a friend coming in to snap you out of it and get you moving again. And the King of Pentacles reversed could be the energy of closing the Akashic records so that the Queen of Swords can speak about the twist of fate and the downturn, the slowdown, to the Queen of Wands reversed, who may be feeling that Atlas energy of the weight of the world upon her shoulders, exposing chaos and war with an offer of a new life, a secret passion in the now moment, the present, the gift. Under the radar, the wounded warrior feeling that they failed, and the challenge being thinking outside of the box, that grieving may not be working out. So, transitioning to the truth that's just lying beneath the surface of negative self-talk and the need to get moving or exercise and release those pent-up energies. The King of Pentacles reversed, or Akashic records reversed, like closing the library. It's time to go out and exercise. The Queen of Swords is upright, not meant to be around perhaps the Queen of Wands reversed, who's still carrying the weight or needing to move their body to release their stuck energy. And then maybe they can come together after that. So those were the reads that were coming up. So anything else is coming up? Anything come up for you guys? Oh, thanks about the stuttering stuff. How long was this? 2 hours and 16 minutes. Wow, long time. Well, I'm all caught up now. And you guys have any questions before I go? I don't know if I can definitely answer them for you, but I can give it a try. Okay. Well, you guys take care of yourselves. I'll be back. I guess I'll come until I get a new way of it. I might have to go out and get another computer. But if not, I'll come back live again. Because I can't save any like videos on this computer. It's too small a hard drive. So, okay, I love you guys. Thanks for sharing this time with me. I'll see you later. Make sure you drink your water and get your rest, your joy in your nature, and rise and be love. And I'll see you soon. Maybe I'll just come in and do a live one of these days and just pull some cards for people. That might be fun to do. You can let me know. Bye, guys. Have a great one. Rise and be love.